Hello, welcome to Win Some Loosemore. My name is Dieter and I'm here to take you through some of our collection, telling you why I like different games, and today I'm going to tell you why I like Fuse. Now Fuse is a very stressful 10-minute cooperative game where you're trying to defuse bombs with dice. So why don't I show you a little bit of how it works, and then I will come back and tell you why I like Fuse. So here we have a game set up for 4 players. It can be anything from 1 player to 5, which just changes the amount of cards that you are using. And at the beginning of the game, each person has 2 bombs in front of them, represented by these cards. Now there are numbers in the top that show you how difficult it is. So 1 is the easiest, up to a 4, which is the hardest. I'll explain how we clear those in a minute. But in the box also comes, if you get really good at the game, even harder ones that are all 6s, which are the most difficult. And so in front of everybody is a pool of bombs to choose from. So if I complete this one, I turn it over and I take a new one. The game suggests if you've got one higher number, you should aim to take a lower number. So I'll take this one and a new one comes out. So this deck is made up of new bomb cards, but also these Fuse cards. I'll explain what they do in just a moment. So a turn works very simply. Comes with this lovely dice bag, as you would imagine, full of dice of different colours, all sorts of things. So on my turn, I will draw 4 dice, because there are 4 people. I would then roll these dice, and so we have a red 5, a red 6, a yellow 1 and a yellow 2. Now it is everybody's opportunity, all 4 people, this is cooperative, it's happening at the same time, to take one of those dice and place it on one of the spots on their cards to try and defuse their bomb. Now the bombs come in different styles, there's different ways to complete them, so let's have a look at a few examples. For instance, this card that one of my players over here has, to clear this bomb they need 3 dice. One of them has to either be a black die or a number 1, or a black die or a number 2, or a black die or a number 3. So in this instance, they may choose to take this number 1 and place it on the square on the card that was for a number 1. Now let's have a look who else can take something. Let's have a look at this one. So anytime you see the hash symbol, it just means it's to do with a number, and whenever time you see this little colour wheel, it's to do with colour. Now this card is a little more tricky. The number or colour on this card needs to equal the number or colour on this card. So whichever one they take this time, they would need to take one of the same number or colour the next time. So let's just say they had the choice of these ones. They would, over several turns, be able to take this 5, and then, oh look, this one can be a 5 or a red. They can take this. Now this doesn't have to be red, it can also be a 6. That's how that one works. And once you've filled up all 3 squares, you discard the card, you take a new one. Are there any? Yes, here's one. These are trickier. When you see it, I'll bring it closer so you can see. This is where you build it, same as the others. This is the description. You need to build a tower. So in this case, the 2 ones at the bottom need to be black die, and the top one needs to be a 1. And you have to physically, I'll cheat a little bit, draw what I need from the bag, you have to physically build this tower. So here's 2 black dice and I've placed it on the space. The 2 bases have to be built first, then this one has to be placed on top for it to be considered complete. In those more difficult ones I showed you, the 6s, there are double layer ones, so you have to build all that bottom layer before you can build the second layer, before you can build the top layer. That's why it's so hard. Once you have completed it and everybody's taken a dice, the dice go back into the bag, or they stay on the cards for the next turn. Then the bag passes to the next player. They draw 4, very similar. We roll, we take the dice that we can. Now if there ever comes a point, so let's say they took this one last time This can be a green, so we put it there. Nope, I was wrong on that one. This too, because of this arrow, needs to be a stack. So if this is a 3, and then next time this one would have to go on top, and again, it's not what it's asking for, it's asking for a yellow or a 1, this would have to go on top. If at any point the dice fall down, they have to go back in the bag. You can't just rebuild it. So it gets quite stressful. This person can put this one anywhere, and this person... good, this is a good example. When a dice can't be taken, somebody can't take it, for instance this person, we have to do something about that, otherwise it's cheating. So this has to go back in the bag, but also everybody that has a visible green or 6, because that was the dice that can't be used, has to get rid of it. So this person sadly loses their one. Turn passes on, turn passes on, turn passes on. Now earlier you saw me draw one of these. When these come out, they're called fuse cards. Similar to an unused dice, we would all have to discard a 6. And there are 6 of them in the deck, all different. Here's some examples. Everyone has to discard a yellow, a 4, that kind of thing. So they're in the deck as well. Now all of that seems relatively calm and straightforward until you realise that all of this is done to a 10-minute timer. Now Renegade, who have created the game, produced this wonderful app which has the timer on it, and as soon as we press play, so it counts down for you, makes it very stressful. She comments a lot all the time, but if we go back to the home again for other games, we're on Fuse. There we go. You can have different voices. So the basic voice is just polite, but then the personality voice.
Warning. Enemy activity detected on board. 10 minutes to total ship destruction.
She's quite bored, she's quite sarcastic as you get through. She's making comments like, oh, haven't you done it yet? All those kinds of things. So that just adds a great amount of atmosphere. Of course, you can just use a normal timer yourselves. So that's a basic overview of the game. So why do I like Fuse? Well, there's a number of reasons. I'll start with the components themselves. I know it's very simple, it's just these dice, but the dice are really cool. I like the digits that they've put on them, very digital looking, and the colours are really clear. The bag that it comes with is just very nice. There's no reason that they should necessarily need a nice bag, but it just comes with a nice velvety bag. The cards are a good quality. The rules, although a little bit longer, but they give you examples on every page of what they mean, so that's really helpful, really good. And the app is really straightforward on my phone. You just click it off. The fact that you've got the option of voices, just the normal quick, we need to get this done voice, and the seriously you're taking so long sarcastic voice is just quite funny for us. I really enjoy that it's 10 minutes. It's not like, oh, this is a really quick game, but if slow players play it drags out. No, you're against a timer. There is nothing you can do to make this any longer. You can just fail. That's it. I really like the difficulty levels, that you can introduce the higher value cards to make it more difficult, that you can add more of the fuse cards to make it more difficult. We play this a lot, just the two of us. We've played it in groups of 4, 6, I think even. We've played it with a lot of different numbers, and it works equally well. We've had a lot of fun, and we've had then a few other people just borrow it from us because they've enjoyed it so much. I think that 10-minute only thing, it gives you that real sense of urgency, obviously, but the real challenge that you want to get this done, and if you didn't do it last time, quick, let's set it up, let's do it again. Personally, I can't do it more than about twice in a row because it's a good kind of really angry stress. It's just, no, you've taken the dice that I wanted, how could you do that? But it's fun, it is fun, it is good. Play with people you trust. This is not, oh hey, we've just met, come round, play games, let's play Fuse. You will never see that person again because you will likely have said something you will regret. So thank you very much for watching. That is why I like Fuse. I've been Dieter for Win Some Loosemore. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the bell to stay updated with our videos. You can follow us on Twitter at WSomeElmore. You can find us on Facebook as well. I'll post another one of these shortly, but until then, goodbye.